Let me show you how to construct back of the neck for European shoulder construction method using German short rows. So in your pattern, you will have you will need to cast on certain amount of stitches along this line usually, and then you would need to place 2 markers. Between those markers, it will be the back of the neck, and then on the sides we would have certain amount of stitches for the shoulder slopes. Then using German short rows, we would need in a certain way to form this little triangle here, and then to actually form the slope. Why would we need to do the short rows here as well? It's because if we don't do them, it would look more as a direct line here, you see, and then you would have a shoulder slopes. If you do, for example, just short rows this way, or if you do only increases here from this amount of casted on stitches. It's also fine, but it's not really very nice visually looking, and the your top or blouse or sweater will not sit as nicely as you just have a little deepening here on both sides. So let me show you how to do it. Here we have casted on the necessary amount of stitches. We place 2 markers. This is our back of the neck and the shoulder slopes. Next row is a purl row. So what we're gonna do is, following the instructions in the pattern, you would purl until first stitch marker. And to show it here, so it's a little bit easier, we're beginning here, we're purling until we reach the first marker, slip marker. When you would purl the amount of stitches indicated in the pattern, here I have 4, so then you would purl 4. After that, you would turn your work and knit to the amount of stitches indicated in the pattern. I have 3, so I would get to the marker, slip marker, purl 4, turn work, knit 3. Then we would need to turn our work again and purl until this double stitch here that we formed before, plus purl 4 additional stitches, turn work, and again then knit to here. Then we go 1 last turn. We would have 3 turns here on the neckline. Then we would go back to the shoulder, and from here on we would go all the way to the other slope. Turn work to the first stitch, first 4 stitches, first turn on the neck, and then we are working this side. So basically we start by working this slope here first. After we work those stitches, we get into work this slope here in the neck, and on the after that we would go with the German short rows from one side of shoulder to another side, working actually this slope here, shoulder slope. That's in theory. How to do it in practice? So we start by purling to first stitch marker here, I have selvage stitch first 3 stitches, so I'm doing that, but after that I'm just purling regularly. In the pattern you will see purl until the stitch marker, slip stitch marker, purl certain amount of stitches. So we are doing 4, slip marker, purl 4. After those 4 stitches, we will do our first turn and form a double stitch. 4 stitches. So now you turn your work, you're on the right side, on the knit side. Then with your yarn in front here, we would need to do a double stitch. So just slip the stitch purlwise with the yarn in front on the needle and then tuck on the yarn to form a double stitch. You see, it looks like it's 2 stitches, but it's 1 stitch. We form a double stitch. So now you would knit until the marker. Again, you knit on the same side. Slip marker. Knit the amount of stitches indicated in the pattern. We have 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn work. Form the double stitch. Again, you yarn in front. Slip that stitch purlwise. Get the yarn, tuck it behind the needle like this to form a double stitch. This is your double stitch on the purl side. Again, it's 1 stitch, just looks like 2. Next in the pattern you will read something like purl until the stitch marker, or purl until double stitch, so slip marker, purl until our last double stitch. Let's find it here. You see I purled 3. Now I see this looks like a double stitch, so we purl until double stitch, purl in double stitch as 1, even though it looks as 2, and then purl 4. Four again, turn work, form a double stitch, knit until your last double stitch, knit 3. So we get into the double stitch. You can see it here. We knit it as 1, and then after that we knit 3. One, 2, 3. Turn work. Again, work until double stitch. Don't forget to form your double stitch here on that side. Double stitch here, purl it, and then purl 4 more, turn work on the right side, form double stitch, knit until last double stitch. As you can see, we're already forming a little slope here on the neck. And that will be our last point here in the neck. Then we will go to the other side of the neck. This side, we will be forming this side. So knit until double stitch, knit double stitch, here we're doing it, knit 3 more, see double stitch. If you missed, sometimes you can kind of see it as it looks a little bit, has a lot of bulk here, but otherwise it's pretty smooth. That was all double stitch, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're turning work, and now we have finished here this side. From here we would need to go to other side of the shoulder and work this side now. So in your pattern you will see something like slip, we make a double stitch, purl until second stitch marker. This is a first stitch marker where we have already worked, and this is the second one. So we're purling until here. Now purling 3.